Hi, my name is Dave Fuller with the University of Maine Cooperative Extension, and today we're going to talk about garlic in the home garden and a little bit about removing the scape and why garlic is so important to home gardeners. Is the value of the crop. Retail prices for garlic range from $12 to $20 a pound, depending on the type and the size. So you can see it has quite a bit of economic importance and possibility for the state of Maine. So we're back in the garlic patch that we planted last October. Things are looking pretty good. We've kept the weeds down. The mulch has helped out a lot with that. We did a little bit of side dressing with soybean meal to give it some nitrogen to grow a nice big top. And then the next stage that we're looking at is whether or not to remove the scape. But before we talk about that, let's talk about the two basic types of garlic. There's a soft neck and a hard neck. The soft neck doesn't produce a flower scape, and the hard neck does. So remember, the garlic is not grown from seed, but it's from vegetative propagation. So we plant a clove and get a bulb. And with hard neck, we plant a clove, get a bulb, and then we get this thing called a scape, which is a flower stalk. It's fairly immature at this point. It's only about half grown. And there's always a lot of debate with gardeners and farmers. Do we remove this flower stalk or not? And the idea is that if we remove it, then the bulb will be larger. And with garlic selling from $12 to $20 a pound, it makes sense to have a larger bulb. And in fact, we at the University of Maine Cooperative Extension have been doing research on the effects of scape removal. And early research, we're only year one into it, has shown that the bulbs are from 17 to 48% larger if you do remove the scape, and the storage ability isn't really any different if you've removed it or not too. So we're looking here at German extra hardy garlic, which is a stiff-neck variety. It grows a scape, and the scape again is a flower stalk that comes up, basically comes out of the center of the plant. And as it keeps growing, it curls, it grows taller, it uncurls, and finally is finished off as 5 to 6 feet tall. And at the very top, you have something called an umbel, and in that is a bunch of small propagules called bulbils from which you could grow garlic. It takes about 3 years to grow it, so most people don't grow it that way. But so in removing this, this is the umbel. And we basically want to just cut it off behind that. You can either cut it or just snap it like that. And when it's picked young like this, it's very tender. It's good in stir fries. I know people who have made pesto from it. It can be pickled, and some people use it in decorations when it's a little bit older because of the curlicue. It's very interesting, but regardless, if you let it grow to its full height, don't let those bulbils stay in the garden because they'll act as weeds. So there's about 100 to 150 bulbils per head, so that's a whole lot of weeds if you don't want them growing there. So the question is when to harvest the garlic scape, and basically as soon as it comes out of the center of the plant and we can see this bulbil body which is going to be forming, that's a good time to pick it early on in the stage, and we can just snip it like that, or you can cut it. And at that point, this can be used for pesto, stir fries. I know people have pickled it. It makes good pickles, and it's quite tasty. But remember to leave a few scapes on so you can see that full development. It's a very interesting botanical wonder, and I always leave a few in my garden just to watch them. It's fun. So home gardeners and farmers especially can benefit from growing garlic because of the very strong price that it commands. So it makes good sense. And if you have any questions, you can contact us at the University of Maine Cooperative Extension with questions about growing garlic.